All right, we're at session 2. How you doing today, Victor?
I am hanging in here, John. Thank you very much. How about you?
I'm doing good. All right, so I guess it was a couple weeks ago, we did some basic work doing some number calculations, working with the Python interpreter, getting used to some basic commands. So today, I want to go forward and talk about classes. So right now, if you look at your code, it basically is just one monolithic script. I mean, you are doing function declarations, but everything's in one file, and it's not very modular. So um, if you want to edit anything, you have to do it all in this one file, and you may not need to. It makes it less readable as it gets bigger. So a lot of programming languages are what are called object oriented. So an object in a programming language is just a container around properties and methods, right? So, for example, you might write a video game, and it's a racing game, right? So you have a bunch of cars in there. The car is the object, and in that car class, because objects have classes that define objects are defined by classes. Okay. So in your car class, you have all of your data that represents what a car is. So the speed, the color, the type, whatever information you're going to need in the game, okay, to represent the car. And then objects also have functions and methods, which are just functions. So what can a car do? A car can move, a car can turn, a car can it can do a boost or what have you, whatever a car can do. So in the game, so an object, you just package it all into these classes, and then you can then import these classes into other various parts of your application and call that logic, so you don't have to rewrite it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So open up that OperationManager.py file, and here is just a basic skeleton, and this is how you define a class in Python. It's a class keyword, the name of the class, and then colon. And then from there on, everything in there was basically the same what you did before. So we're defining a function here called init. Every object has an init function. Okay. So, and it's short for initialization. So when you create a new object, you can pass in initialization, what's called a constructor. You're constructing that object. So let's go back to the car example, right? Let's say you were picking a car, and it was the color was blue. All right. So when you in the code, when you call that car, you do car, and then you put in blue as one of the parameters. Okay. So in this example that we're doing, I made an operation manager class. And what this class is going to be responsible for doing is doing all of the operation logic that we did last time. So your add, subtract, multiply, divide, and modulo. Nice. So we're going to move all that logic into here, and then go back on our numbers.py file when we're calling that menu. Instead, when you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever, instead of calling the function, we're going to call the class method. So we're going to initialize a new class, and then all that logic is going to be inside of that instance of Operation Manager. Okay. Got it. So you see, I have an answers array right there. Okay. So back to what I was saying, objects can have properties. So these are all the variables that are packaged inside of the object. So when you create a new instance of Operation Manager, every new instance is going to have its copy of its own instance of this answers array. Okay. So if you create, Operation 1, Operation 2, Operation 3, you're going to have three. They're each going to have 3 separate answer arrays. Okay. So what we're going to do with this answer array is after you call each function and you get the answer, we're going to store it in this answer array. And then we're going to add a function called getAnswers that's going to print out all the answers from the questions that we've asked thus far. Okay?
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this particular example, you know, I have the init function. You do not have to include the init function. If you don't, then, you know, there's a default one that all objects have, and it just doesn't do anything. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like, so I put it there. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go back to the numbers.py for a moment.
Okay.
Now I want you to cut all of those function definitions and paste it into the operation manager.
What are you talking about right here?
Cut everything from def on.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's do
Down to where it says manager equals operation man. Go up. Yeah, right there. Yep.
right there.
Cut all that. All right. Now paste it in the operation managers.py underneath the init function. No, not right there. So underneath that declaration. So yeah. Fixture, yeah, indent, yeah. Just tab one time, or yeah, right there. Yep. All right. So what you just did is you just defined all these methods in your object or operation manager class. Okay. Now save that. And head back over to numbers.py. Now look up at the very top. You see I added that from statement from operation manager, import operation manager. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to include other modules into your application, you have to import it. Okay.
Nice.
So it goes by based off your file directory. So because operation manager and numbers.py are in the same directory, you don't have to do like, you don't have to put the full path because they share the same directory. So I just did import. Now if this operation manager.py was in another folder, you'd have to do the full path name, okay, or relative path name, or what have you.
I follow.
So what this says is from whatever file, import class. Okay. So it's basically saying from operation manager, which is that operation manager.py file. If you renamed it, then you'd have to, change the from operation manager to whatever you renamed it to. Okay. So from this operation manager file, import the operation manager class. So the name of the file is operation manager. Go back to the operation manager.py, because you can put multiple classes in one file. Okay.
Okay.
So so you're saying importing this class.
So where would I put that though in this line of code?
Well, I already made the skeleton for it. So okay. I'm about to have you do another example with making a new class, so you'll get your practice. So
sure.
Let's wait a second. All right. So go back to the numbers.py. And you see, okay, so we imported the operation manager class. So now we can call it in our code. All right.
Yep.
When you want to instantiate a new class, it's the name of the class, open close parentheses, and that's the constructor. So go down on line 3, you see I have manager equals operation manager, open close parentheses.
Yeah.
That's calling the init function. Okay.
Nice.
So go back to the operation manager.py for me. Mm-hmm. And you see that we have a self, we're passing in self on the init function.
Yeah, I see that on line 5.
Every class, when you call the initialization function, it calls itself, and self is like the instance, this instance of this class that you're making. Okay. So go back to numbers.py. Do you get that? You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah,
all right, cool. So we made a new instance, okay? So go down to line 12 where we're calling our options. Option 1. Line 13, I'm sorry. So we moved this, we don't have this add function in the numbers.py anymore. That's now a function of, or now a method of AnswerManager class. If you want to call a method on a class, it uses the dot syntax. So it's the name of the variable. In this case, we called it manager, dot, whatever method, whatever function name.
So would I put that inside the parentheses?
No.
Okay.
So it's going to be manager dot add.
Where would I put that?
Right after? No. Before. So before the A, before the A, just type in the word manager dot. So what you're doing is you're calling this manager variable, which is an instance of AnswerManager, and you're telling it to call the add method, and you define the add method. So go back to AnswerManager.py. So when you call manager.add, it calls the add function on this instance of AnswerManager. Okay. So go ahead and replicate that for the rest of your options. Yeah.
Gotta learn that.
All right, and you don't need exit is a universal function.
Okay.
All right, so hit save. And go open your terminal and run that file, the numbers.py. Python 3 is all one word. And remember, you can pass it in the name of the file to run that specific file.
So I could put Python 3 space the name of the file.
Yeah.
UI?
Yeah. No. Numbers.
Yeah.
Remember, we're running numbers, but we're importing the class that we created in the other file.
Gotcha.
Are you in the right directory? Where'd you save that at?
I think I'm in the right directory. Am I not?
Right click on the folder on the left hand side. Yeah, on Python tutorial. And copy project path. Actually, do that on numbers.py. Right click on numbers.py and copy the path. All right, now go back to the terminal and paste that. Python 3, paste.
Yeah, it came up numbers.
It's all one word.
All one word. Got it.
You didn't paste it.
Was that, cause I just, when I paste, that's what came up. Unless I need to go back and copy again.
Okay, go back. We'll let you open the, right click. Show in Finder. It's in it's in the documents. I think it's in the documents. Hit the back button and look at the properties for that file. Get info. It's really not showing you the full. Oh, it's in the Python tutorial folder. You didn't put. Okay, go back to the terminal. Okay. And it's Python 3 space Python dash tutorial / numbers.py. All right, so or you can just CD. You can just CD into that directory.
So CD into. So let's do Python 3, and then CD.
No. Exit. With the parentheses. Hit type in CD. No, CD space Python dash tutorial. No, all one, yeah. Good. All right, now do Python 3 space numbers.py. Numbers.
That was so bad for that.
It's all good. All right. Yeah. Now, the first thing we see, you see it says initialized up at the top.
Yeah.
Go back to the Atom code real quick and go to the Operation Manager class. You see in the initialization. Yeah, we put initialize. So, all right. So go back. So now we know the object is there, and just type in the number 1. Just you can just test 1 to see if it works.
Got a problem.
0. I forgot. You have to add that self keyword. That's got to be the first parameter. Because, like I said, it's every instance of that class. So every instance has its own version of self. All right. So
where do we fix that at? Is that
so self is going to be a parameter for all of your functions.
Got it. So I have to add this to all the other functions?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. I could just copy this thing.
You know what I would do? I would hit Control F and put open close parenthesis and define, and then in the replace. No. In the find. Now hit. Now go to the no. Don't type the word in. Now go to the replace below it. You were in the find. Now go to the replace. Click the where it says replacing current buffer. Replacing current buffer. To the left.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then type in the open parentheses, self, close parentheses. And then hit replace all. Hit find. Oh, there you go. You got it. All right, hit save. And now rerun the script.
Cool. Okay. Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Live. 1. 4. 2.
All right, cool. Go ahead and exit. Now this is where no, hit 6.
6.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, do you understand everything you just did just now?
A little bit.
What don't you understand? Because I'm about to have you make a new class.
Oh man. So basically, we created a new object, right?
Mm-hmm.
We pulled in the old code that we created, and now created under a new, how would I call it? Because what would we call Operation Manager?
A class.
Okay, class. There you go. So we have a new class now that now calls on the previous code. And the initialize and the self part, my understanding is you have to initialize self for every function. Is that correct?
Yes. Now, why?
Because it's a new instance every time you run it.
And it's its own scope. Correct. All right. So, like I said earlier, we're going to extend the functionality so that after every question that's answered, we want to save that answer in that answer array. Okay.
Nice.
So there's two ways we can go about this. We can either edit the current class, or we can make a new class and extend the functionality. Now, I want to show you, because I want you to get your hands dirty with creating classes. I want you to create a new class, but we're going to what's called inherit. So in object-oriented design, you have this concept of inheritance. Okay, so let's go back to the car example. All right, we have an object called car, and that represents every type of car that there is. But each type of car is different. A Lamborghini is different than a Ferrari, different than a Nissan Altima or whatever. So for each instance of those cars, let's stick with Lamborghini. Lamborghini is a type of car. The class Lamborghini inherits from car. Okay? So it's a child relationship, parent-child, car, Lamborghini. So Lamborghini can do everything its parent can do. It can drive, it has a max speed, it has a color, but those attributes might be different, right? The max speed for a Lamborghini is going to, might be different. Or let me not use max speed, because we can change the speed as a normal parameter. A Lamborghini might have custom wheels. A Lamborghini might have a nitrous boost in it that another car might not if it's a souped out car in the video game. Okay. So so everything that it can do that is related to everything that all cars can do, we want to just take that logic without having to rewrite it. And so we can just focus on the new stuff that Lamborghini can do. Okay.
Okay.
So in order to do that in Python, you create a new class, and then you put the name of the class you're trying to inherit in parentheses. So go back to your Atom. I want you to right click on Operation Manager. Or my bad, don't even do that. Right click on Python tutorial on the folder to the left. A new file, and we're gonna call this AnswerManager.py.
Is that one word? Or?
Yeah, capital M.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Now, you're going to create the class using the class keyword. If you need reference, go back to the OperationManager.py.
This line right here.
No, the very line 1.
Oh, class Operation Manager.
All right, but don't copy it. Because you're gonna. Right. So you're gonna call this one class Answer Manager. But before you put that colon at the end, you're going to put 2 parentheses, and inside of that parenthesis, you're going to put the word Operation Manager. And that tells Python This is a new class called Answer Manager that inherits from Operation Manager.
Operation Manager, so cool. I'm doing it now. Okay, hang on. Like that?
Let me see. Yes. Now put in the colon after the last parenthesis. All right. So by doing this, you've automatically inherited everything from
Operation Manager.
Oh, we need to import Operation Manager. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
do we do that before or after?
Before. It's gotta be so yeah, before class.
Got it. So return.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we inherit?
Go to the numbers.py for reference.
Okay. Oh, from Operation Manager import. Okay.
You can just copy. You can just cut that because we don't even need that in there anymore.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So save this. Go back to numbers.py. And we're going, instead of importing Operations Manager, we're going to import Answer Manager.
So import.
No. You can you can do a wild import, but we'll get to that next. So yeah, do from. You gotta do from before you do the import. Lowercase from the name of the file,
which is Answer Manager, right?
Mm-hmm.
Answer Manager is capital, is that right?
Yep. And then from, and then import, and then the name of the specific class,
which
is Answer Manager. We're just keeping it simple this time.
Okay.
All right. Now, instead of manager equals Operation Manager, we want manager to equal Answer Manager. Now I want you to save this and then run your program. And by the way, you can hit Command S to save, the keyboard shortcut.
All right, and run this in the terminal.
Yes.
And it's still Python 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got issue along one module
class. Oh, I'm sorry. We forgot to. We got to add at least one function. Go ahead and add the init function, and make it say whatever you want it to. So this will be in the answer manager.py.
And it's gonna be the third line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just copy and paste that.
Would it be the whole thing or just those two
lines? Just those 2 lines. And make it say something else.
Hello. So just print.
and you got to put those in quotes.
Oh yeah, I was wondering why it didn't turn green. Telltale sign that you coded all.
Go ahead and save that. And
run it.
Yep, go ahead and try to run it. All right, now try adding.
Okay. I'm trying to literally add it. Sorry.
Oh, good. All right, so go ahead and exit. Now, what you noticed is it did all of those functions without you having to rewrite it.
The code, I know, that's beautiful. Wow.
All right, now go back. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to override that function. All right. So in computer science, there's something known as overriding and overloading. Okay. When you override a function with a new class or what have you, it's the same function definition, but you're making it do something else. Okay. So and then you have overloading. It's the same function name, but a different set of parameters. Okay, so you can have.
It does more than the originally used to do. Then.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. So, for example, the add function, you can have an add function with no parameters, like how we have now, or you can make another version of add that takes in parameter 1, parameter 2. So they'll both return it. So one it puts out the console output says add one number, add the second number, and the second one you just supply the two numbers, but they're both going to return the addition. So that's overloading. So we're overriding. All right, we have the add function from our parent class. Okay, but what we want to do now is we want to inject that answer into our answers array that we have, because that answers array that we have in OperationManager.py, that empty array, that's also in this class. We inherited it. We don't see it, but it's still there.
Okay.
So let's make a new function definition for add in the AnswerManager.py.
All right, so go back into numbers.py.
No. Say where you're at. Make a new function called add. Yeah.
I'm gonna copy this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. No, well, just copy copy that right there, because we're not even. Yeah.
You're gonna do it a totally different way.
Right. You're indenting. What's up?
Can we pause quickly? I need to have my wife get her car real quick.
Okay. When you say quickly, are you meaning a long time or?
No. Maybe 15 minutes tops.
Okay.
Is that gonna be too long?
No, that's fine. I'll go ahead and just pause this recording.
Okay.
And just leave it up.
Yeah. So give us 15 minutes. I'll be right back. Right?
All right, cool.
Yeah. Take a quick break. So far, this is really good, man. Thanks.
Ain't no problem.
Yeah, I'll be right back. No, let me schedule them because it's a recording going. We're gonna post it. So let me tell them I'll come back later tonight. Okay. For what? No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Let's just do it. Hey, Jerome, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife says she wants to go out for brunch. Can we finish this later tonight?
Yeah. We only got like 5 more. I mean, after this, I'm giving you a homework assignment.
Yeah, I know. Because the thing is, I don't want to. I want to finish. To me, it would make more sense if we just finish it tonight. If you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's all good.
All right. Thanks,
It's all
man.
good.
I appreciate it.
Ain't no problem. So we'll continue part 2 later tonight.
All right, cool.
Peace.
I'm sorry, I can't even talk. All right, Jerome.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll finish part 2 later tonight, and I'll just stitch this recording together.